great. So we're with Pulak Sinha from On Pepper. He has been in the asset management banking industry for many years. We're here in Columbus, Ohio. Pulak has come in from New York with me to talk about how the asset management industry is changing. So how is the asset management industry changing?
So it's a very important question, and I want to go back to when I started in this industry, almost 20 years ago. It was a small industry at that point of time, not the asset management industry, but some sectors of the asset management industry. And asset management has been around for hundreds of years. Obviously, people have been managing assets and have been trying to find ways to make money out of all this and allocate their capital to the right users. What changed over the last 20, 25 years has been this growth in the alternative sector, where there's a lot more money going into private asset classes, not just the traditional ones that we know, equities and bonds and munis and commodities, but there's a whole other set of asset classes that people are now investing in, and that has changed the whole industry, the whole structure of the industry, the way business is done, and it's a way, and it has produced very good results. So people are not just folks like Nationwide, others are investing.
So that begs. So what's the problem?
And the problem is the rules and the systems that were developed for that old industry are not the same for this new industry. And I'll take a very simple example. An equity could be traded on an exchange. So I exactly know I don't need to know who my counterparty is. I don't need to know when I have to settle with them. I know exactly how much money I'm going to pay. So all those risks have been taken away. Mm-hmm. When we get into this market, all those risks come back to me because there is no exchange. I am dealing with just one person. I don't know if he's going to settle with me or not. I don't know how long it's going to take to settle. So these are very big risks that asset managers are taking. And that's changing the structure and the nature and the systems and the processes. Everything is getting changed because of all of that.
Well, I can amplify that because it's there's so many apps for everything, right? Uh-huh. And on the consumer and business level. So what's the solution?
The challenge is it's a complex space. Things are not the same. No two assets are similar. So the apps are not easily developed. Every day there could be a new innovation and a new way of how the finance team is going to work on it. So the nature of data is changing. The nature of how data is analyzed is changing. So the systems and this need to be up to that. They need to have the right technologies so that they can analyze those kind of systems, or they can settle those, or they can manage the liquidity in those, and those require a whole new set of let's say technologies and infrastructure to manage. I think that's the big difference, and a typical app will not do that.
I know you're going to talk to us all about that tomorrow. Any other insight? And any other insight we're here in the Midwest that comes to mind?
I think the capital markets are such an integrated piece that all of the money, where does it flow to and how does it get allocated and where is the right allocation is very important. And some of the Midwest will be a big value add to the money that is being raised and managed by asset managers, even in New York or some of the big financial centers, because this is where all the manufacturing is. This is where the growth is going to be. So I think the connections are very, very key, and we as an organization need to make that happen, because this is where they will find the best investments.
Right, monies should flow, both investments and companies, funds, and then philanthropies,
And philanthropy,
which we're also very much focused on. Any comment on that aspect of what we do at 361 that where you think what you're doing, your solution could be helpful?
So even for us, and this is something that I've been trying, and I've been working with one or two organizations who are in philanthropy. A big part of what they do is how do they allocate their capital to the right place, and how do they track that?
Yeah.
And our system helps them do that. So if they are managing 20 projects, our system is a great place for them to put things together.
Well, I want to really pin down on both aspects of it in the future. Well, thank you for coming.
Thanks so much, Mark. And
flying in from Ohio, from the Upper West Side.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a great location. And I think what you do is so important for the industry in general, because there are few places where you can exchange ideas so freely, and that's very important, because how do you then otherwise connect a technology system to a philanthropy, to an asset manager, and to the end user, and put all of them on the same page? That's a big task, and I think that's so important.
Well, we need partners to do that. So thanks. And
that's why glad to be here.
Being part of it.
Thank you.
Come join our 361 firm community of investors and thought leaders. We have a lot of events created by the community as we collaborate on investments and philanthropic interests. Join us.